Welcome back. Thanks for joining. We're going to jump straight into this because this is where the meat is. The meat and potatoes. Chapter 3 is the power of assumption. Man's chief delusion is his conviction that there are causes other than his own state of consciousness. All that befalls a man, all that is done by him, all that comes from him, happens as a result of his state of consciousness. It's the state of where his mind is, the state of what he believes about himself. A man's consciousness is all that he thinks and desires and loves, all that he believes is true and consents to. That is why a change of consciousness is necessary before you can change your outer world. I'm bringing back the hand. You cannot change your outer world by only changing your thoughts. You can't change your outer world by only changing your actions. Okay, what has to change first is the basis of your thoughts. That's why we do things for like 3 days and then we go back to our old habits. It's because you didn't change the basis of your thoughts. You only changed your thoughts. You only changed the way that you moved in the world. You got to change the place that it all comes from. That's how you make lasting change. That is why a change of consciousness is necessary before you can change your outer world. Rain falls as a result of change in the temperature in the higher regions of the atmosphere. So, in like manner, a change of circumstance happens as a result of a change in your state of consciousness. You change your outer world by changing your thoughts, not your thoughts. You change your outer world by changing the basis of your thoughts. You change your consciousness, change the state of existing in your mind. Where are you in your mind? What state of living do you believe to be true about yourself? Okay. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. You cannot get a new mind by having the same one that you've always had. By thinking from the same place that you've always thought. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Nothing changes if you don't change. You got to change the place that all the thoughts come from. Make it a better place. To be transformed, the whole basis of your thoughts must change. But your thoughts cannot change unless you have new ideas, for you think from your ideas. All transformation begins with an intense, burning desire to be transformed. In order to do anything, you have to want to do it first. When we eat when we're hungry, you have a desire for filling that. You have the desire to eat. You have the desire to curb that feeling. So in order to change your mind, in order to have new ideas, you have to want to do that. You have to want to change who you are in order to change, right? The first step in the renewing of the mind is desire. You must want to be different and intend to be before you can begin to change yourself. Then you must make your future dream a present fact. You do this by assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. When he says assuming here, he doesn't just mean to predict, to assume. By this, he means assuming only means to believe to be true. So when you're assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, after you have the desire, after you know what you want, you know what you're desiring, you're assuming it to be true. You're believing to be true your wish fulfilled. And that feeling that you have, you believe in that feeling. You believe that to be true about yourself. And you take that with you in everything that you do. By desiring to be other than what you are, you create an ideal of the person that you want to be, and you assume that you are already that person. Like I said, you have to believe it to be true. If this assumption is persisted in until it becomes your dominant feeling, when you hold that feeling, the attainment of your ideal is inevitable. You're going to change. When you change, you have to change. Things don't change by staying the same. Okay? The ideal that you hope to achieve is always ready for an incarnation. But unless you yourself offer it human parentage, it is incapable of birth. This ideal version of you, remember, there's no gap in consciousness. So this ideal version of you that you create in your mind, that is you. It already exists because it came from your mind. It's not going to become anything, though. It's going to stay an idea in your mind unless you, with your being, like he says, offer it human parentage. Unless you, with your being, become that ideal. Therefore, your attitude should be one in which, having desired to express a higher state, you alone accept the task of incarnating this new and greater value of yourself. It is your job to be who you want to be. You cannot live as anyone else. You only have one life. You have only one consciousness. This ideal person that you want to be, it's already you. All you got to do is accept it to be true and be it. The only person to convince is you. You don't think about your outer world. Don't think about the people around you. You be it. In giving birth to your ideal, you must bear in mind that the methods of mental and spiritual knowledge are entirely different. This is a point that is truly understood by probably not more than one person in a million. You know a thing mentally by looking at it from the outside, by comparing it with other things, by analyzing it and defining if by thinking of it, whereas you can only know a thing spiritually only by becoming it, only by thinking from it. You must be the thing itself and not merely talk about it or look at it, right? It's a feeling that you're holding and you're being it. You believe it and you be it. You must be like the moth in search of his idol, excuse me, the flame, who spurred with true desire, plunging at once into the sacred fire, folded his wings within, till he became one color and one substance with the flame. He only knew the flame who in it burned, and only he could tell who ne'er to tell returned. Ne'er. Just as the moth in his desire to know the flame was willing to destroy himself, so must you in becoming a new person be willing to die to your present self. When you stay attached to this version of you that you are now, when there's no desire to change, nothing changes. When you don't let go of all the things, all of the concepts of yourself, when you don't let go of the concepts that you have of yourself that are keeping you as you are now, you're not going to change. He's saying you have to die to this version of you that you are now in order to become someone new. You have to be willing to let go of the things. That's why your reactions to life, you have to look at your past, look at everything that's happened up until this point, and you have to see those things as not happening to you, but see them as things that have taught you. What have you learned from everything up until this point, okay? And you take all these lessons and you die to this version that you are now, but you become your ideal, and the ideal version of you is already there. They've experienced all of these things that you've experienced. It's still you, but now they don't see these things as things that have hurt them, things that have kept them small and afraid, or whatever it is that's keeping you the way that you are now. This ideal version of you doesn't have all those things. And it might have happened, but it didn't happen to you, to this ideal version of you. The ideal version of you is not a victim. I'd hope, but so he's saying that you have to die to this version of you are now. Look back on your life, look at you right now, and in this moment, think about what part of you is keeping you the way that you are, and you have to die to that. You have to let that go. Let go of who you are now, because it's keeping you as you are now. You must be conscious of being healthy if you are to know what health is. So be aware of it in your mind of your state of health. And not physically, be aware of your thoughts about health, because you got to change the basis of your thoughts. Be aware of your thoughts about health. You must be conscious of being secure if you are to know what security is. Be aware of your thoughts about being secure. Therefore, to incarnate a new and greater value of yourself, you must believe fully, that you already are what you want to be, and then live by faith in this assumption, which is not yet incarnate in the body of your life, in confidence that this new value or state of consciousness will become incarnated through your absolute fidelity to the assumption that you are that which you desire to be. You have to live as if this ideal version of you, live as if these things that you're going to believe about yourself, live as if they are true. That's what he means by assuming it, by faith and assumption. Believe it to be true and live as those concepts of yourself. You create it. It comes from your mind. You have to act as if. That's what it means to act as if, is to believe that it's already true. Believe that you are already that person. And you live your life in that state of being what you want to be. It no longer becomes a wish or an ideal. It becomes who you are. The only thing, you have to offer it human parentage. You have to be it. Otherwise, it stays an idea, right? This is what wholeness means. This is what integrity means. They mean submission of the whole self to the feeling of the wish fulfilled, in certainty that the new state of consciousness is the renewing of the mind which transforms. There is no order in nature corresponding to this willing submission of the self to the ideal beyond the self. It is a choice to become the person that you want to be. It is a choice to let go of the things that are keeping you as you are now. If you think about nature, all the things that happen in nature, the way that nature evolves, nothing in nature has a choice. That's why humans are what they are. That's why we have the power of awareness, is because we have that ability to think of ourselves, to think outside of ourselves. We have the ability to change and be aware of who we are and what we want to become. Trees don't have that choice. The apple tree from chapter 1, that's an apple tree for life. You're not an apple tree. You're a human being. A being with thoughts and choices. You can choose. You don't have to survive, okay? You don't have to wait for it to rain in order to grow. You can do that right now. You can choose. It's a choice. So choose, okay? Choose the best for yourself. There's no order in nature corresponding to this submission. It's a choice. Therefore, it is the height of folly to expect the incarnation of a new and greater concept of yourself to come about by natural evolutionary process. Like I said, if you just wait and wait and wait, nothing's going to change. Time is passing, regardless. Time doesn't stop for you. Time doesn't stop when you don't know what you want. Time's going. You figure out who you want to be, figure out what you want, and you assume it, you become it, believe it fully, and be it. It doesn't just happen for you by waiting. It doesn't just evolve into something. You got to act. You got to believe. Change the basis of your thoughts. That which requires a state of consciousness to produce its effect obviously cannot be affected without such a state of consciousness. And in your ability to assume the feeling of a greater life, to assume a new concept of yourself, you possess what the rest of nature does not possess: imagination, the instrument by which you create your world. Everything that you believe about yourself, that you experience, your outer world, every part of your existence is in your mind. It's imagined. It's in your head. Nothing is real. Okay? You create all of it. You have imagination. Like I said, if a tree had an imagination, I don't think it'd be a tree. Do you want to get peed on all the time by a dog? Pooped on by birds? You want people to tear you down? You want humans to tear you down to build things? I don't even know what it's like to be a tree, but I can only imagine, because I'm a human with an imagination. Your imagination is the instrument, the means whereby your redemption from slavery, sickness, and poverty is effected. These are all controlled by your state of consciousness. A choice to act and to believe what you believe about yourself. Let me stop. Excuse me. If you refuse to assume the responsibility of the incarnation of a new and higher concept of yourself, then you reject the means, the only means whereby your redemption, that is, the attainment of your ideal, can be effected. Imagination is the only redemptive power in the universe. However, Your nature is such that it is optional for you whether you remain in your present concept of yourself, a hungry being longing for freedom, health, and security, or choose to become the instrument of your own redemption, imagining yourself as that which you want to be and thereby satisfying your hunger and redeeming yourself. Oh, be strong then, and brave, pure, patient, and true. The work that is yours, let no other hand do. For the strength from the fountain within you, the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is within you. You are the kingdom of heaven. It all comes from your mind. The kingdom of heaven is your mind. It's your imagination. Yeah, this beautiful place where you're meant to experience only the best of everything. It's here now. You bring heaven to earth. You bring it to life, and it's in your head. We're here to experience the best. You're here to create the best version of yourself, to imagine the best version of yourself and be that. You're not here to waste your life away. You're not here to be sad. You're not here to hate yourself. You're not here to hate other people. You're not here to waste time, to be lazy, to be sick, to be tired, to be unhappy or unhealthy. That makes no sense. Your imagination is going to free you from all of this. You need to believe that you can be different from what you are. And that's a fact. You have to believe that because you're a human, because you're aware of being alive, because you can change. You're not a tree. You're not any part of nature that has to evolve, that has to survive. You're here now. And you can choose the way that you want to live. You have to change what you believe about yourself. Okay, I think I about did it there. It's getting pretty passionate. I think I'm going to leave it there. Okay. Be strong. Be brave, pure, patient, and true. Let the work that is yours, let no other hand do. Okay. You create it. You create that ideal of yourself, and you already are it because it's in the same mind that you are in right now. It does not come from anyone else. No one tells you who to be. That's all you. It's a choice. All you have to do is want it and create it and become it. Believe it fully. Believe in your belief the same way that you believe about who you, the same way. Believe in your belief the way that you believe your world right now. Be aware of being what you want to be in the same way that you are aware of all the things that you know right now. The way that you are familiar with your own hands, right? You could probably close your eyes and know what your hands look like just based off of memory. You could probably, without looking at anything, you're aware of like the floor plan of your house. You know what the inside of your house looks like without even having to look at it. You're aware of those things. Those are things that have been impressed onto your subconscious, onto your mind. So in order to change the outer parts of you, you want to change the way you look, or you want to change where you live or what kind of car you drive, become aware of the thing that you want to have. Become aware of the consciousness of having that thing that you want. Become aware of existing as the person that has those things. Do not go changing your name. Do not just start waking up early because that's what the person does. Change the basis of your thoughts. Change the place that all of your actions come from. Change the basis of your thoughts. Change what you believe about everything that you want to change. Change your belief. And then the outer world changes because you're changing how you see things. And it all comes from you. No one just puts it in front of you. Maybe, depending on what it is. How it happens, no one's business, truly. But the way that you experience it, where it comes from in the first place, you got to imagine it. And that's your power. That's your power to choose how you have it. Not how, sorry. It's your power to choose whether or not you have it, but yeah, it's your choice. I'm gonna leave it there. That was a lot of talking. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this helped. And I love you. I love you so much. You can do this. You can be anyone. Be it now. Waste no more time being afraid. Waste no more time thinking outside of yourself. Become that person right now. I want you to look at this. Think of all these things that you want to be. Think of your ideal. That's your job. And before you go to bed, you feel into that person. What do they feel like? How does it feel to be who you want to be right now? And you fall asleep being that person. And you sit in that. You're sitting in that all night and you're soaking in it. And you wake up tomorrow and you do the same thing, except you soak in it throughout the day. Okay, but do it with the intention of becoming that person. Do it with the intention of leaving this present self behind, this present identity. Do it with the intention of changing. Don't get stuck trying, okay? Because I was like that for a while. It's an invisible trap, getting stuck trying. You think you're doing the right thing, and you are, right? By doing it, you're doing the right thing. But you have to do it. You can't get stuck trying. I'm talking myself in circles. I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching, and I love you, and I will catch you next time.